All right, and we're live. Today is the 20th episode of the Advisor Tech Book Live podcast. Today, my guest is Dennis Mosley Williams. Hopefully, I didn't butcher his last name, but I don't think the pronunciation is what we're here for. Welcome,
No.
Dennis.
Thank you, Joe. And you hit it right. Mosley Williams. Thanks for having me on. I'm a fan, man.
I appreciate that. No, I'm truly excited about today's episode, and I think the reason why is that you've been saying a few things online, and from my experience with you, sorry, my buzzer's going off. Things that most people I don't know agree with, and so I'm excited to dig in. I think they're true, and I think that they're what people need to hear. Um, and I think that's a lot of what I'm doing is trying to say true things and say them in bold ways.
Yeah,
And I
as
think
nicely
that
as possible.
as nicely as I'm not always nice. I'm working on a Substack right now that's going to really offend some people, but I try to be nice.
It's tough though, right? Because there's this thing where I say it too. Well, if you're not offending somebody, you're not really making a point, or what have you. But at the same time, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings or hurt anybody, and I want to have friends and be liked. But you are correct, because of the things that I believe and know are true. And I don't just comment on them recently publicly. I've been talking about it for 30 years. I definitely am a bit of a feather ruffler from time to time. But before we go any further, this is my please disclaimer, okay? But I don't delight in it at all, in poking people. I'm a healer and a loving person. So anybody who's listening and thinks at one point, man, I don't like this guy. It's like, well, we would love, that's why we're having this conversation. I'd love to help. I don't want to hurt anybody. And I feel better about what we're going to talk about now.
Yeah, no, I do too. I hope it's obvious to everybody that what I'm doing is I hope it's for their best interest. I think I'm calling out some industry practices and some specific companies and some practices. But truly, because I want those companies to get better, I want their investors to get better results. I want advisors to get better results. I don't want prospects. I don't want a prospect to like go through a divorce and then get 30 postcards in the mail written by robots that from
Yeah.
financial advisors in the area. Like, I don't think anybody wants that. Like, the entire American public is going to start to hate the industry if AI starts peppering them with slop
That's right.
every time they go through a money in motion event.
It's further erosion of our humanity. That's just it. I feel the same way. It's like, I'm not trying to hurt you. It's that I know you're getting hurt, and I know you don't necessarily know. So here's a different way of looking at it, and we can get on with it. Anyhow.
All right. So if there was one single thing you want financial advisors to know or to do to grow their business in 2026, you can think about it as long as you want. What would that one thing be?
Job one for every financial advisor, and I would like to say for any business in the entire world, inside or outside the financial services industry, this applies to it. But today we're just talking about our friends that are advisors, so here it is. Job one for every financial advisor is to build belonging within their practice, to turn their clients into members, and to turn financial planning, the service of financial planning, and I'm going to use this word, into a movement, a bigger idea. It's not just about wealth, it's well-being. Okay, it's like the advisor as a charismatic leader, financial planning as a big idea, and the financial planning practice as a community that is guiding clients to achieving their personal aspirations, to living a life less ordinary, to a transformation.
Yeah.
So my wife has a joke, I think. She says the problem with Dennis is he always thinks he has an hour to make a point. So the short answer is to build belonging. That longer answer is why. Okay. And it's because that's where value is. Value for the client is no longer how much or what you can do for them, how quickly, how efficiently. Value for the client increasingly is becoming the question, who is the advisor helping me become?
Wow, that's good. There's a lot to unpack there.
There's a
But
ton.
I was hoping if I asked you a pointed question, I would get a pointed answer.
Well, I do. I'm usually such a. I shouldn't tell you this now that we're here, but I'm usually such a bad hang on these. It's terrible. Um, I get all nervous, so I'm just pretending it's you and me. Believe it or
Oh
not,
no, I mean it is actually.
I get I get nervous before every speaking engagement too, and I've been doing that for 30 years. Everything that I believe, my entire worldview, as it relates to this subject, is based on the progression of economic value, from commodities to goods to services to experiences and ultimately to transformations. So, what I see in the financial services industry is that advisors are still they charge at the service level of the progression of economic value. They charge a fee. And when I started, fee-based investing was brand new. Okay, I've been working in the financial service industry in this capacity, so to speak, since 1995. So I've seen the industry shift from commissions to fee for service. The services have improved, the products have improved, the advice has improved, the specialization has improved, everything has gotten better, and yet commoditization still happened. So what I see is the financial services industry, which is named after products. It's crazy. In my keynotes, I joke that that's the hatchback effect. Do you know what a hatchback is?
The little like coupes with the back
Yeah.
thing that comes up.
They named the car after its ugliest feature. I've always found that funny. Okay. In the financial services industry, we named the entire industry after the things we sell. It's wealth management. It should be wealth care. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Okay. So financial advisors and the whole industry still charges at a service level, a flat fee for services rendered.
Right.
And we mistakenly call services experiences, which is a whole other thing. Mistaking service for experience. They're not the same. What advisors have to do now is charge for transformation.
Yeah.
And transformation, okay, and this is is critical. They are independently priced outside of assets.
Transformations are independently priced.
Yeah.
That's good. I think you had a comment about that, or maybe
you and I went back and forth on LinkedIn over it.
Yeah, transformations are independently
priced. It's a different economic offer.
You can't transform people's lives for 1% of whatever their AUM might be at the moment.
You mean 50 basis points soon? Because in my model,
0 basis points.
And I shouldn't say my model. I'm saying all professional services are commoditized, and right now they're down to 1%.
Right.
But surely somewhere somebody's offering it for less.
Oh yeah, no, some are down to 35 basis points.
Oh my goodness. Okay, and the clients, the market will pay what the market will bear. When they can pay nothing, they will.
Okay, so I do want to clarify. I think a real financial planner, a real life planner, a real transformation expert is worth at least 1% of whatever the assets are under management. I'm not saying that they're worth less than that. I'm just saying that might not be the best pricing model.
AUM is a pricing mechanism, right?
Right.
So this is what I'm saying. I'm going to use $10,000. Right now, a financial advisor gets paid $10,000 based on AUM. What I'm saying is the same client, the same advisor, I beg your pardon, is worth $10,000 a year if you progress up the progression of economic value. If you stage experiences that lead the client to a transformation, which would be any aspect of their life that they feel is related to their sense of wealth and needs attention. If you help them do that, you could charge them for fees, which will be less than 1%, plus some kind of transformation annual fee. Call it a membership to belong to your practice. I'm going to pay you $5,000 to manage my money and $5,000 to make me better with measurable outcomes. Do you see what I'm saying? Now I want to know something, a clarifying question. Are you saying no way? And I got to disclaim again before I even ask the damn question, because I'm feeling all Canadian. Sure. Okay, and offensive. Oh, I don't want to be offensive. Financial planning is really, really important, obviously. The product, services, and professionalism of the general population is impressive. I meet a lot of financial advisors all the time that impress me. Okay, I'm not trying to write this off as like anyone can do it. No, financial advisors have a tremendous amount of value. I've been working with them for a long, long time. Now I want to know, are you saying, no, there's no way it can go less than 1%, just when you factor everything in and all the humans involved in the moving pieces, there's no way financial planning really en masse could be less than 1%? Were we debating what the cost is or what the value is? I'm saying I think a financial advisor is worth more than $10,000, especially if they build the right experience and work in the most incredible transformation, et cetera. It's like, are you kidding? They could probably get $20,000 and they would be worth it. But people who are just amazing technicians delivering services, they're a risk. I'm sure that's a tough thing to swallow, but that's what I believe. It's like, I'm sorry. In the age of what we live in today, AI and the rest of it, and what's coming down the pipe, there's no way you can just be a straight up fee-for-service person and not get further commoditized.
Yeah, so I'm kind of referencing Nick Murray's work around the 1%, and the value is worth at least that for real financial planning. I want to use an example that one of the first financial advisors I worked for, about a quarter of his book of business was getting charged over 4% in fees. So there was his fee, there was the broker dealer's fee, there was the underlying funds fee, and all in, it was over 4%. Their returns were horrible. Like, I mean, not only were they getting hit with 4% in fees, but the money was invested badly, meaning right. the net return was, negative.
A complete disaster.
The return on fees was horrible.
Right.
I think that's the one extreme. But for a true life transformation, maybe 4% of whatever the number is might actually be worth it. But I don't think that's the best way to price it. Is that what we're talking about?
Well, I think that, okay, so value is this. Value is made up of two things.
I feel like we're yelling at each other. Is this okay that we're like yelling at each other?
I don't think we're yelling. I think it's cool. I was nervous because I thought we were going to have maybe a live audience and people would be hating me in real time. Instead, I'll just die later when I don't read their comments.
No, I'll make sure they hate you in recording.
Oh, I don't. I just want to be because I'm trying to help. And what's crazy? I knew all this the very first day in the business when I saw what it was. Right then and there, I said, "Well, this is where this show's going." And when I first started, there was no email. You know what I mean? And I knew, okay, well, this is where this is going. Value equals this: function plus effect on time with an A. Effect on time. McDonald's and the finest restaurant in your city both fulfill the same function. Right. With apologies to the best restaurant in your city, by the way, for this terrible friggin' comparison. I'm so sorry. They solve hungry people's problems. That's what McDonald's does. Okay. Now, in terms of what you're paying for, it's not equal. There's function plus, and the bigger one is effect on time. McDonald's will feed you in 5 minutes. Okay? The nicest restaurant in town turns it into a staged, almost theatrical event. Okay, advisors who are right now paid at AUM at the service level, they're getting paid for a function plus saving people time. That's what services do. Financial planning saves you a lot of time.
Right.
Okay, but what people respect the importance of is portfolio rebalancing and all the rest of it. But that's not what they want. They want confidence, they want clarity, and all those wonderful emotional things, which is all part of experience. And they want something else. And that's a sense, my friend, that they're becoming who they want to be.
Yeah.
Okay? So what I'm saying is, all professional services everywhere everywhere, and it's not just us that's dealing with this. I'm dealing with this. You could type into Chat GPT, how would Dennis Mosley Williams solve this problem? And it'll tell you. I know because I sometimes ask it the same damn question. When I started, like this is just to own my own commoditization.
Right.
Hey, when I started out, Dennis, will you speak for us? Yes, I'll speak for you. Will you speak this many times? Yes, I will. Okay, we're going to pay you this much for the speaking engagement. Will you create a tool for us? Oh, yeah, sure. And I'm going to charge you X for the tool. Okay, today in 2026, if someone says, can you speak for us once? I say, yeah. If they say, can you create some stuff? I say, sure. And I don't even charge them. That's commoditization. It happens to all of us. So what I'm saying is professional services will get right down until some online service like Amazon or Google offers you financial planning and offers it to you for free. And they would get compensated in this example by taking a cut on everything they sell you, from plane tickets to vacation packages to helping you life plan your best life and then living it. And I'm borrowing this statement from Brian Portnoy,
Okay.
Shaping Wealth. I have a tremendous amount of respect for him. I'm also his number one fan. After the people who love him, it's me, big guy in the front of the first time I saw him speak, I knew that guy's really special. He knows what the hell he's talking about. He says, he calls it funded contentment. And I believe he says exactly this. People want to, I lie, it's his use of, I just love this phrase. They want to underwrite a contented life, or they want to underwrite it. That's what financial planning is, that part. All the money just underwrites what? So the effect on time, you can save people time. It'll always lead you to commoditization. You can stage an experience, which is time well spent. Going to your office matters and resonates. It's meaningful time. It's deeply personal. And ultimately, it should be about transformation. Remember, you posted something the other day where you asked, why do people fire their financial advisor? And I answered, because they get bored.
Yeah.
And I think you were like, bingo, that's the answer. It's like, yeah, it is. And people quit. This is warning everybody. People quit a working system. They don't, which is to say, they don't even necessarily realize what an incredible financial advisor you are. They get bored with it. So imagine instead of saving them time, it's time well spent, or even time well invested with you.
Right.
Where your conversations in your meetings are about financial, but also personal transformation, their personal objectives, aspirations, all that great stuff. And I'm saying you'll charge X for fees and Y for the transformation, for being a member of your practice.
That makes sense. I think we got to say it in ways. So like recently I wrote 0 basis points. Basically like, okay, you manage their investments. AI can probably do it better. You write them a tax plan. AI can probably do that better very soon. You write them an estate plan. AI can probably do that better. Everything that is so valuable, you tax planning, is going to 0 because AI will make it all commoditized.
Right.
So basically what I'm saying is 100 basis points. Maybe I'm hung up on the whole percent of AUM thing. I probably am. But
right.
The point is the entire value is going towards the membership, the experience, the transformation. There is
The
zero
effect on time.
value. Yeah. There's zero value anymore in the knowledge per se. I mean, I definitely think there's some judgment and wisdom that has value across all those spectrums.
Mhm.
But it's the experience, it's the relationship, it's the transformation. That is where the value in the relationship is going
Who
to
you're
be.
helping them become.
Right. Yeah. A lot of people don't know who they want to become, though.
Correct. So therefore, there's the value.
Right.
So
So
just
helping people figure out who they want to
figure
become.
that out. Okay, I had this a long, long time ago when ING was a mutual fund company. Like, think about how long ago that was.
Yeah.
I was doing this, and I spoke in wherever John Wayne, Orange County. The name of the town is escaping me. I'm a little embarrassed. Right near the airport, at the Marriott or the Westin. There I was. I've spoken there a million times. The Westin Costa Mesa. I know the name of the hotel, but not the town it's in. Right in Orange County there. Anyhow, I spoke at a conference and this guy came up to me at the end. And because even today, I talk about the future, what's coming. Okay. What is the future of financial advice? What's the future of business? Where is business going to, that's what I think about. So it's just the way it is. I tend to be embraced by innovators and I get a little bit of friction from more established businesses because they see me. I don't know why. I don't want to speculate what's on in their mind. So this older gentleman walked up to me. He looked like a Tim Conway character, if you know who that is. Okay.
Don't.
And I just braced myself for what is often someone's just not ready to hear it or whatever. But instead, he says, go, just keep talking about this. This is really important. Then he tells me about his business. And he said, this is how long ago it was. I'd never heard the term bucket list before. And, there's a movie made of it. So this was before the movie was made. I was like, what does that mean? I've never, I'm from Canada. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. He went on to explain to me that he had built his entire business. So he would have started, this is like in the 90s, I'm sure of it, possibly early 2000s. So he would have already been in the business for 25, 30 years at the time. He said, not only do I help my clients achieve their bucket list, he goes, here's the secret. Most people don't have a bucket list. And he said to me, if you can get your audience to start thinking that way, you'll do a lot of good. And probably it was that conversation that made me realize, like, through this crazy job I have, I'm influencing a lot more people than I realize to think about what's really important.
Yeah. Okay, so bucket list. That's an idea. See, I feel like part of your problem in the industry is that it's very difficult to understand what you're saying.
Oh, thanks for that.
I like
I don't have problems in the industry.
No, you're welcome.
But anyway.
No, I think I'm running into this more and more though. There's people that I really respect and honor, and I know they're very good at what they do, but I just don't quite understand it. And the way it was explained to me is like, Joe, you think horizontally, like you think in
Right.
tactics and strategies and quick fixes and simplifying things down to one single concept or one single sentences. There's some people that think vertically. They think, okay, Joe's talking about organic growth. What he really is talking about is the purpose of life. And so like they'll jump several categories vertically, and then I'm completely lost because I'm like, I don't
You're
even
trapped as a linear thinker, you poor thing. Okay, how can I help you?
I suppose I'm a linear thinker. But like bucket list. So here's the way I think about transformation. Let's say someone's making or an advisor has a million a year in revenue. They have 100
Yeah,
million under management. They want to 10x. They want to get to 1 billion. This is how advisors think. They think in AUMs
right.
instead of in how many lives they're transforming. So currently your current beliefs, your skills, your offer, your systems, your copywriting, your marketing is getting you the results of 1 million a year in revenue. In order
Right.
to get to 10 million a year in revenue, in order to get to 1 billion,
Yeah.
you're going to have to become a different person. So let's just say Joe Moss currently makes $1 million a year. I don't make $1 million, but let's say Joe Moss makes $1 million a year. Joe Moss wants to get to 10 million a year. The
Right.
version of me that is capable, is actually making 10 million a year, is not the same, not having the same thoughts, not doing the same things, not spending my time the same way, not talking to the same people. That's what I think a transformation is. What's
Okay.
your definition?
All right. For everybody has $100 million under management and wants to get to $1 billion, build belonging. It's the last growth strategy you haven't tried, and you can throw everything else I'm going to say and have said out the window.
Okay.
Just make sure everybody who is your client feels seen, understood, which is also a way of being safe. Make sure you create a way for them to participate and give them something to belong to. Make sure they just feel really, really important. Okay? And host some cool events that help them change.
So basically what you're saying is draft all your communications with them using AI. That's what you're saying, right?
I'm saying stop talking to strangers. Just grow your business through referrals by studying your existing clients, knowing everything about them, and recognizing it.
I was joking about the AI thing. I think
AI is a really wonderful tool, but it's going to lead people to ruin. Now, you also said, I'm going to keep it all straight, yeah, but I can't be the same person. Well, no, you can't. This is a different kind of work. There's assigned work. That's financial planning. It's where I'm really comfortable. I know. And then there's required work. All assigned work is commoditized and it competes on price. All required work, hard human sloppy work. Like what you just said to me a minute ago. That's required work. You said, I think I know what your problem is. You're hard to understand. That's a big statement, but it might be the statement I needed to hear. That's worth maybe a lot to me. I mean, it's enough that I'm referencing it. I heard you.
Well, I read a lot of LinkedIn posts, and every time I see a post by you, it's way too long, and it's like, first of all, my attention span is not long enough to even read the entire thing, and I just get it's really ethereal. It's really hard to, like, what is this man trying to say? And usually I just skip it, and you can usually see that with like low engagement, because it's like nobody gets this, because that's why no one's engaging with it.
I know. I'm wordy. It's something I'm working on at this, and we'll get. That's a whole other thing. That's another thing.
Yeah,
which is points well made though. Like it's like, yeah, I know. I'm terrible at all that stuff. That's what my problem is. I'm terrible at all that stuff. So yeah, you got to go become a little bit more. You got to think a little differently. But every advisor that says he's wrong, here's why, they're not going to go trust technology, which is a farce. Of course they're going to. You know, if they need a person in the room, it's how they make them feel. It's like, okay, so now you're arguing against me with my point. I'm saying, no, everything that makes you amazing is you. All the value is you. Okay, it's how you make people feel. I'm just saying, can't we just get serious about it and formalize it and make it the only thing you do all the time? Let's just let it come out. And the third thing is this, and you said something else about working or something. No, here it is. The things I'm saying, if you had an established business with 100 million under management, you don't ever need to talk to a stranger. You need to show up in a way that is so generous and so authentic, which is, my long posts, I have a problem not being exactly who I am. There's a performance aspect of all of this marketing, social media, that grosses me out. I have a hard time participating in it. Sure. So while I'm tempted to say to you, I'm going to start writing shorter posts then, there's another part of me that says, like, Rush the band. Yeah, well, I write 6-minute songs. What do you want me to tell you? Tom Sawyer's brilliant. So back to these advisors. Do the same, just study show up differently, generously. Study your existing clients constantly. Know everything that's going on in their life, recognize it, and participate in it. Right. When you talked about a bucket list earlier, it's like, hey, this might not be for everybody. I'd help you write a personal manifesto. I would dig into that. That would be very personal to me. I'd dig right into that. Let me help, like, take my wife and I as an example. It's like, you guys are in your 50s, you got your health, you've been working a long time, saving money for like you're in a really nice place. What are you guys about? How do you feel? What do you really want to do? And how can I help you figure that out? And if you're listening and you're thinking, yes, I see that. Okay. Yes, I see yes, of course. How can we use these resources we have in our business to partner with our clients to help them make a great life plan and achieve it while we, once again, credit to Brian Portnoy, underwrite it. We're already doing the part that scares them the most for them. We're more than halfway there. All we need to do now is make these people say to us, oh my God, I'm so glad I came in. Every time we come in, this great thing happens.
Yeah.
Every time. That's it.
Yeah.
So I got to change. Yeah. And then once you realize how easy this is to do, I'm telling you to shut everything down other than caring for the people who will, as I point at my telephone, this archaic thing on my desk, who will take your call whenever you call, who will answer your email, who will make time. They give you permission. They'll give you their time. And it's so easy to make a person feel seen. They'll send you all the referrals you want. You'll get to $1 billion if that's what you really want. My question would be, why do you want $1 billion? But that was your example. So there it is. If that's really what you want, because your dad didn't hug you enough or whatever it is, the fastest way to get there is to make your clients feel like they belong to you. People want to fit in. And there's a loneliness epidemic out there that we don't really acknowledge. It's like, are you kidding, man? People are all plugged in and disconnected. They want to belong to something groovy, something that makes them better, something they can bring a friend to. What's the big idea you're using your business to teach? That's what it's all about.
Yeah. I recently I'm starting to follow more VC companies and VC founders. One of them, I think, is I'm gonna get the name wrong, but it's like Harry Stebbings or something. Stebbings, and he said he's interviewed 107 billionaires. He's like, there's 3 things they all have in common. Number 1, they have a broken parent relationship. That was his number 1 thing.
Yeah,
for billionaires, they have a broken.
That's interesting. Did you ever read The Millionaire Next Door?
I did, yeah, several times.
There was a correlation with all those folks as well, if I recall. It was they didn't do well at school.
Really?
Yeah, they were all. Many of them are great, high school graduates.
Yeah.
Okay, and there's a double-edged sword here. One of it was so it inspired them to greatness, and they own it. No, I was going to show my guidance counselor. I was going to prove to them that I didn't need to go, be a lawn boy or whatever the hell it was. But the other side of the coin was this. Later in life, when they were parents, it was their Achilles heel because they would encourage their children to stay in school, pursuing postgraduate degrees, because that chip on the shoulder was still affecting their thinking. So they were basically encouraging their kids not to pursue things the way they did.
Yeah.
Interesting. Great book. And The Millionaire Mind, also great read, man.
So if I simplify this again with my poor linear mind,
you're doing the best you can.
Advisors lead their clients on transformations. The way I think about it, though, is the best way for a financial advisor to lead others on life transformations is to pursue their own life transformation, to pursue their own.
Yes, you yourself should first go through it.
Personal legend.
Yeah, of course you should. Mm-hmm. So there's 2 things I want to say here, because there's a question that needs to be addressed, which is, let's go back to the progression of economic value. We all have to agree that a business that extracts commodities is a totally different business that sells products, and a totally different business delivers services, and an entirely different business stages experiences. These are all different businesses. Okay? So this is a different business too, this guiding transformations. Okay, and everything changes with it. So the biggest problem here is this. When we talk about staging experiences, versus delivering services. Everybody needs services. Not everybody wants the experience.
Yeah.
Okay. So the biggest shift here is when you become the delivery mechanism is the experience. The transformation is who we help the client become, how we make them feel, right? When you ask people to buy into a bigger idea, not everybody wants that. So the biggest shift here, especially say you're listening and you're just starting out, which I'd say, oh yeah, you're laughing. You just need one client. Once you have one client, you're off to the races. It's what you're asking people to buy into, what the big idea is. What's the big idea? What is, what is that you want? What is it that you want to teach someone? How does this look like in practical terms? So it looks like this. It's simple things. It's like, okay, what do you send them to read? When they spend time with you and they come to your office, how do you make them feel before they come in? How do you make them feel seen? How do you make them feel understood? Well, I know their name, of course, and they're treated like important people when they show up. Yep. And we know their preferences. Yep, that's all great too. What does the environment look like? If I was referred to you and I walked into your office and it was a funny moment where nobody was in the office, there was a fire drill, you're all on the street, but somehow I got in. Oh, what's going on? There's a note that says, we'll all be back. We've all been asked to leave the building for 5 minutes. So I'm just standing there. If I looked around, could I figure out what you're all about? What's on your walls? How are you subtly hinting at and overtly pointing at this lesson that you want to teach me? When I come in for meetings and I sit in the lobby, experience, which people will pay more for. People will pay a premium for an experience over a service. If I show up and you know my name and you know what I take in my coffee, and I sit down in an amazing little lobby area, and before the meeting you say, I want you to enjoy this coffee and your time here, and I want you to watch this video.
Yeah.
Okay, you blow that person away. And you have things on the wall that they literally want to take pictures of. I'm going to take a picture of this. This is what I'm always trying to say to my kid. Yeah, well, you're halfway there.
Right. So if you're meeting virtually,
you have to stage a really good experience.
My school is the lobby, the community, the posts, the podcast, the content in the classroom. That is the lobby of my.
So do this. I use Zoom a lot. Presumably school works the same way. So here's what I do. I always get in before my guest does. I'm always there waiting. That's an impression. And the impression I want to make is I take you and this seriously. Yeah. The harmonizing cue is I show up before you. My client never shows up and wonders where I am. They show up, it's like, damn, he's here already. Yeah. Ahead of time, I open up another window on my screen. We've got to go back to answering that second part, which is bringing on the right clients and triage. I get in early. I open up another screen. I immediately share it with you, even though you're not there yet, with the sound. This is the entering phase of the experience. What I'm playing on that screen, some third-party thing, a video, a talk, a something, it's germane to what I want to teach you. So when you come in, instead of seeing a lame thing that says, we'll notify the host, when you come in, I let you in instantly. I should look and see if I can customize that little message to say something fun and surprising. So what happens is as soon as it opens, you're not in this Zoom studio with me.
Right.
I open you into a concert or a big talk or a video of some kind that's instantly interesting, engaging, different, and surprising. And I'm there as a little weather person in the corner. I'm like, I let you know I'm here too. Hey, Joe, what's up? Check this out.
Yeah.
And then from there, I lead you in. I've got cameras where I can diagram things and instantly, using Stream Deck. That helps in the experience, right?
Right.
So it's like, here, let me diagram the progression of economic value for you.
Yeah.
Here's the next. All around me, make sure you have the right lighting. When we first started, I said, oh, isn't that interesting? On school, my lighting's all goofy. On Zoom, it's perfect. I don't know why that is, but that's the kind of stuff I take semi-seriously. I will say this, you exist over here on my screen, even though this is where you are on the camera.
That's
But I have
true.
a hard time talking to you and not looking at you,
Yeah.
you know? So I
Right.
want to always be over here, unfortunately. But here's something else. Everything that's behind me on the wall has to do with transformation.
What's the quote? I just was reading the quote. Something it's a good
It's
life if you
if
don't
you don't
weaken.
weaken. Yeah. And the rest of the quote is, but who wants to be strong?
Hmm.
Yeah. And it's here we are. Look what we're talking about with these folks. Here's the challenges of being in a transformation business. A, how do you charge for it?
That's a problem. How do you
That's the
charge?
big, how do you charge for it? Number two, how do you find people that want it? Oh, see, everybody wants really good service. Everybody wants to feel like a VIP. That's easy. Who wants?
I know how you find people. You write crazy stuff on the internet and you say crazy things. And then the people that resonate with the crazy nonsense you're saying.
Well, there
That's
is
how you
that.
find
I mean, it's my business partner, Tom Frisbee. He and I always debate the word weird. He hates that word. Dennis, don't use that word. That is a bad word. People don't want weird. I
I always
disagree.
spell it wrong too. The E and the I always get me tripped up on.
When doesn't it? I went to French immersion. I've been a horrible speller since I was 11 years old now. Spell checks made me a lot better, but oh my goodness, for a long time I wanted to put an E on the end of everything. Anyway, if you make things for the masses, you're going to charge as little as you possibly can. The more unique something is, and then this is the big one, the more personally relevant, the more we are willing to pay. So I'm saying, if someone came along and said, I'm going to charge you the same thing for your financial planning, it's not managing your portfolio. It's not assets under management. Okay. It's what? It's transformations under observation, or it's what? What is it? I don't even really know. It's, I don't know. It's something. Okay. It's humans under management. Although there's a conference called that in London in the UK, and I got to watch out. Andy, oh, I'm sorry, his name escapes me, but that's him. I just think it's a great term. Outcomes under transformation. That's what I was trying to say. It's not assets under management. It's outcomes under transformation.
But you're not managing the people. I think that's
no, you're guiding them. Correct.
You're guiding them
guiding them
in a way. Well, often I'm actually writing about this currently, so I'm trying to figure it out. What are you guiding them to?
A better version of themselves to achieve their personal aspirations. Can you picture Maslow's hierarchy of needs?
Yeah.
Of course. I'm assuming everybody else can too. Okay, so I sometimes put this in, it's in my slideshow right now, and I'm trying not to use slides in my keynotes because it's so lame. But here it is. I put this one up of they're just a distraction. It's just me and the message. That's all I want. Anyway, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Financial planning, the service of, executed brilliantly, only addresses the bottom two rungs or levels of Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
Yeah.
Okay, if you do this right, you will have calories and climate, heated or chilled, for the rest of your life if you just do this. That's what we do for you. Okay, the third Maslow's hierarchy of needs, the middle one is belonging. The next is self-esteem, all these great things. And the top one is self-actualization. In my talks, I say, what do you spend the most amount of time thinking about when you're sitting in your car quiet? Yesterday, in the middle of the greatest ski day of my life, literally, bro, just a magical day, I found myself, and I know I did it because then I recorded a video and sent it to my daughter. In the middle of having this amazing experience, I thought, am I a good dad? So help me God. Like, should I be enjoying this as much as I am? And I'm happy that nobody came with me. Yeah. And I know we're all allowed a little sneaky hooky day to go play in the forest and go downhill skiing and all that great stuff. But literally, that's what I think about all the time. Am I good enough? Am I a good person? Am I a good friend? Hey, that's what we all think about. And I have some knowledge. Like I talked about this thing called the Serious Shift. So forgive me, shameless plug. There are all kinds of people who can help you run a better practice. That's what I do. Build and experience better practice. Blah, blah, blah. There's all kinds of people who do it. And just like me, they're going to give you testimonials and people you can talk, references, and all that kind of great stuff. They all know what they're doing. They're wonderful too. I have this thing called the Serious Shift. That's the big idea people buy into. It's the same thing everybody's listening. Everybody listening. People come to you and they have a great big pile of money and all kinds of questions about it. And you answer all those questions and make them feel better about the whole thing. That's what you do. I do the exact same thing. It's really interesting. People come to me and they got a great big pile of money. It's called revenue and expenses and overhead and strategy and tactics and all kinds of stuff and a constraint here or there. And they hand it all to, more specifically, my partner, Tom, does the heavy lifting on all the consulting stuff. And he fixes it all. And he answers all their questions and he makes it all go away. Same job. Okay. This is what happens with my clients and this is what happens with your clients too. Then what happens? Well, in my world, once the business problem is solved and the $100 million advisor is on his way to being a $1 billion advisor, they are able to now think about different things. And they have different questions about themselves. And we start to have these serious shift conversations.
Yeah.
About who they really want to be. Now, be a financial advisor. But what's the best thing about a financial plan? You can finally start thinking about stuff that's really important. And there is the opportunity for all the advisors. What do you know? You're an expert on human beings and happiness and contentment. What do you know about it? What can you teach them? Who could you bring in? Do your clients need to attend another financial income strategy thing or whatever? Isn't that what your one-on-one stuff's all about? How could imagine if every advisor ran their own version of a TED Talk? I host this conference and some of my clients are speakers. And they talk for 15 minutes on purpose. That's, the purpose. What's my purpose?
Yeah.
There's a story in the Wall Street Journal this week, the week of January 19th. I think it was in last week, the Wall Street Journal. It's like the part of retirement nobody tells you about. And yet we all know about it. The people struggle for meaning, et cetera, et cetera. It's like, well, help them with all that stuff and help them along the way.
Yeah. So we've talked a lot about what should financial planners be selling, transformation. How should they charge? How should they make the experience better?
Mm-hmm.
I do want to talk a bit about the offer.
Okay.
Because I think investment management is a terrible offer. Financial planning is a terrible offer. Retirement planning is probably the worst offer because it's like, let's run a Monte Carlo analysis. All right, we're going to get you to the point 30 years from now. I'm thinking from a younger person's brain. I'm sorry about that, but that's where I'm at.
Yeah.
30 years from now, you're going to have enough money so you don't have to work anymore. And for me, I'm thinking, I absolutely love what I do. I don't even care what I'm doing in 30 years. I'm ready to,
sign on till I'm dead.
Right, exactly. I have zero interest in retirement planning. I think retirement is a scam to steal people's money from them for 40 years and then give it back to them when they can't do anything with it.
So if you were a financial advisor, there's your market right there.
Yeah.
It's people that want to work forever. Think about how different you think about all kinds of things. Wouldn't you love to meet other people like you and learn about how they live their life? Wouldn't you love to meet a person like you that's 30 years older than you?
Yeah.
It says, I thought the exact same thing I was your age. This is what I've done. Yeah. This is what I've learned.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you love that? Wouldn't you pay somebody if they could keep introducing you to people just like that?
So as everyone is on their self-transformation journey, whether they want to transform or not, always seeking someone that's a little further than you, I think, is a huge part of it. Whether that's a book, a coach, a mentor, a YouTube video, just like always, every single day, be seeking inspiration. Be seeking better versions of yourself, better ideas, better thoughts, better words. Rid your life of AI. That's my that's my hot take.
Yeah.
Thoughts on AI?
Oh, I think when you use it for the right thing, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
I really do. I use it for practical things. Like I'm terrible at video hooks and things like that. I'm bad at all that stuff. I
Sure.
should probably, I'm sure if I dropped some of my LinkedIn posts into Chat GPT and said, be a consultant and tell me what the hell I'm doing wrong to get more engagement, it would probably say, make them shorter, do this, dumb it down, land it, give them a takeaway. Oh, okay. If I did that, it would help me, wouldn't it? So there's an example of how it's good. But let me give you another example.
Yeah.
What if you're listening and you think, okay, I agree with Dennis. And wouldn't it be cool if a part of my onboarding, like the first 90 days, was I helped my client sit together, my wife's name's Sherry, Dennis and Sherry, and write a personal manifesto. ChatGPT can help you create the little manual that they need to write a personal manifesto. And you could bang that out in moments, as we all know. And if you said, no, I'm going to set aside 2 hours to do that properly, well, then all right, it'd be even better. But the fact is, ChatGPT, for me, or AI, whatever the hell you want to call it, for me, it just closes that gap between inspiration and implementation. I know what Joe needs. So this thing I've said a few times, just keep studying your existing clients. The people that work for you, they're on their phones all day anyway, right? You know what I mean? It's like they're sitting there, I just checking my Instagram account. Well, they should be checking all your clients' Instagram feeds.
Yeah, that's good.
Right? They should be checking their clients' social media stuff. If you looked at LinkedIn, like, okay, this is deep. You just have to trust me. What I really aspire to do, brother, is go on more ski trips because I'm working too hard. And every single year I try to speak at 50 engagements, and every year I do about 70. This is totally soul bearing. This year, a huge accomplishment for me was putting holidays on the board. Now, if you were my advisor and you're just somebody on your team, it was their whole job was just to study your existing clients. You're trying to convince some business owner to give you the time of day. And what are you doing? You're chasing after, you're pushing them with commoditized services. Come and meet us. They're hearing the same thing from all your competitors. They're all the same. You're all the same. Why talk about things that are the same? Experiences and transformations are pull. Just work with your existing clients. Who do you think I know? Do you know other millionaire soul practitioners? Yeah, people like me. You want to meet them? Blow me away. So then that's why I like ChatGPT. You could help me plan right now a 5-day ski trip around my city that's where nothing's further than 6 hours. Restaurants, hotels, coffee breaks, gas stations. Suggest an itinerary. A playlist, for God's sakes. And here's a playlist I've created on Spotify for you to download. It's for your ski trip. And here's all this stuff. Come on. And you can do all that and it'll be fun as hell. Person comes into your office once a week, tells you everything that's going on.
Here's my argument.
All right.
Any single one of those questions you're asking ChatGPT, if you asked a human that's an expert in that area, the answer you would get would be 10 times better at a minimum, and possibly like 100 or 1,000 times better.
Yeah, that's probably true.
So
that's probably true. So what? Is it a good enough answer? That's part one, and here's part two. AI is 10 minutes old.
You're trying to help people create mind-blowing experiences, though. I think
I could make a mind-blowing experience happen with you if I paid 5 more minutes of personal attention to you.
Right.
And I could make it blow away. And then if I said, I blew away Joe and his lady by doing this, and it took me 5 minutes on ChatGPT, and you said, well, here's an expert on this subject, and they could have really blown me away. It's like, I still blew you away.
So
I'm not advocating for corner cutting. I'm just saying, guys, please, enough. You could blow me away.
Yeah.
In minutes. That's why it's good.
Here's the thing, though. Advisors are really lazy and they are really tempted by corner cutting. And the problem I see with AI is just so many people are looking to AI to cut corners, and they're literally blasting their feet off with shotguns, because this is not what AI should be used for.
I completely agree with you on that.
Okay.
I completely agree with you on that. Like I said, I use it strategically for things. It's fantastic.
Right.
I have a client of mine that I worked with personally last year, and I've known him for a long time. Shout out to John Forbes. Forbes Financial.
Yeah.
He emailed me a week ago to let me know hey, I just found out that I've been named, I guess maybe by Barron's, as one of the top advising firms, blah, 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 in the United States of America. You got to talk to him. He's amazing. He was my client a year ago. I had an online community for a while. He was in it. Long-time listener, as we say. Good dude. And a year ago, he worked with me just to work on his experience. And I introduced him to this idea of transformation. And I did the whole thing. I shared my screen and I said, no, watch. We came up with this truth that John knows, this big idea that he wants to tell every person. It's from the heart. Like, just if I may, if you people listening, I'm someone that you love. I want you to put yourself here. I'm somebody that you love. You really care about me. And I have persuaded you to manage my money, even though we're dear, dear friends or more. And you've agreed. And you'd say to me, all right, Dennis, I'm going to manage your money and you're going to behave yourself as my client because we're buddies, which means you're going to open my mail, return my phone calls, read my emails. You're going to come to your meetings and follow my friggin' advice. You're not going to exploit this friendship nonsense and make me change my rules. And I say, yes, Joe, I'm going to do that. What's the very next thing you would tell me to live a happy life? You'd say, do this, do this, do this, do this, right? Trust me, man. I've been working with people for a long time. And the people that I look forward to seeing, that I admire, that I even sometimes want to emulate, this is what they all have in common. And I'm going to help you do this. The fees cover the services, but the stuff that's worth paying for is the stuff I do for you that changes your life. So John, I don't want to give away his secrets, but he's got a secret. We came up with what his secret is and what are the tenets of that secret. These are ways of living, rules to follow. And then we took those rules and we turned them into 8. Some of them were similar enough that we could combine them. And we took those rules and laid them out over 8 quarters, 2 years, and agreed your relationship will now be based on teaching people these 8 tenets. Transformation.
Yeah.
That's the value of your relationship. It's no longer going to be the service of financial planning. That is now another thing you do that's just underwriting. Again, credit to Brian Portnoy. That entire discussion. That's what we're doing. And we did the whole thing using ChatGPT okay? It can't replace a human, it enhances a human.
Right.
But say you're a human that doesn't want to do any of the stuff that you and I are talking about. If you just want to be a deliverer of service, AI may not replace you, but it's absolutely going to commoditize you.
For sure.
Okay. And there will be some people who always want to have a real human being to talk to. Oh, I'm glad you're here, Joe, in a call center, so to speak. Who, man, the human in charge of my portfolio I'm willing to pay next to nothing for. And there will be other people younger than you and I, but here they come pushing us through the timeline. They don't need to talk to anybody. It could be an AI person. They don't care. They won't care.
They actually do a lot.
Mm-hmm. They do care.
The next generation cares more about real experiences and relationships than ever, I think.
Correct. Absolutely they do. Gen Z, oh yeah, they absolutely do. And more than that, they care about being an individual. They want to be seen.
Yeah. So,
earlier I said, hey, we got to go back to this. We didn't fix it. The biggest challenge for an advisor here is you're now the leader of a movement and not the CEO of a practice. So we attract people differently. The YMCA, a wonderful organization that exists in every city in probably the world, but certainly there's one here. Every single day they're trying to sell memberships. There's also a club in your town that never tries to sell a membership. Here it's the Rito Club. That never tries to sell a membership. People just line up to get in. Okay. So it's like, no. You want to, your practice is now a movement. Every client is a member. Financial planning isn't the big idea. Living a life less ordinary is, and one of those tenets might be first knowing what enough is.
Yeah.
Right? You said the bucket list, helping a person understand what's really important. Like again, on my side of the desk, well, blah, 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 I heard you speak, this and that, everything else. I'd love to get my revenue to $1 million. First question. Oh, yeah? Why? And sometimes there's a valid reason. Okay, great. Let's move on. I can live with that. And there have been other times where I've literally more than once, more than that one time, many times helped a person realize that's what everybody else tells you to do. You don't even want to do that.
Right.
No, you don't. Help them figure out what they actually want and what will make them happy. Didn't you and I have this funny little exchange about financial planning is the longest hanging high five in history?
Yeah. No, I put it in one of my Substacks. Yeah.
Okay. So you and I, okay, every time I go see you, we begin with the end in mind. This is, we know what we're going to need. The services are all good. We know what you're going to need money wise and all that great stuff.
Right.
And we've done the work on aspirations. The entire way along, you're just helping me. That's what we're celebrating and measuring. So the challenge for advisors is this: you got to bring clients in, and in a way that is not awkward or uncomfortable for you or your client, you have to diagnose them. You've already know how to do the financial side of it. That's fantastic. Now you need some tools and some know-how to figure out how to help them figure themselves out. Yeah. Then what do they need? They need ongoing measurement and support. Speakers, check-ins with you, all these different things. Yeah. Because you have to make sure you've got a client that that's going to continue on. So they're not just, it's not, do you have enough assets to get in? It's, are you bought into the big idea to get in? If you are, it's all you think and talk about. And that's how my business grows.
So two thoughts. One of them is you've just given me two fantastic ideas for Advisor Tech. So like I write about Advisor Tech a lot. I'm trying to get involved in like venture capital investing. The first one is create a social media feed of your clients across every platform they're on. So you just add all your clients, it goes out and finds their LinkedIns, their YouTubes, their Instagrams, their TikToks,
Really?
feeds all those in. So an advisor can literally scroll just his clients' social content so he knows what's going on in their lives. That's actually, I think, a very, very good idea. The second idea is transformations, figuring out how to track transformations for your clients. And it can simply just be a way to like visually track all your clients' wins over the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it could also be getting super clear on what each client, who they're trying to become, and then measuring progress towards that goal.
Break down the steps.
Yeah.
So,
exactly.
Okay. So one day I just want to ski all like 12 months a year.
Yeah.
When the bugs are bad at the lake in the summer, I want to go to Argentina. Okay. These are aspirations I have about a way of living and all this stuff. Well, that's a ways off. I have a 13-year-old. I'm going to be pretty occupied for about another 10 years here. Okay, fair enough. If you're my advisor, if you could just help me realize, plan for, and execute a ski trip this year where I could say, you know what, I didn't go on a ski trip last year where I was gone for 7 days. If you help me do that, that's a measurable transformation. If a client, on the way to your office, you say to a client, is there anything else you need? And half jokingly, the person says, you could get me a trainer. The holidays were hard on me.
Yeah.
Look, if you happened to know an amazing trainer who works with you and your wife, oh my God, they're so fantastic. And you can make an intro. Hey, you're a hero. What if you don't know a trainer? What I'm saying is, shouldn't you immediately let the person go and then turn to whomever is your director of community love and say, Dennis, you know their address and you know what they want. I need you to track down near them all the trainers that could work for them. Okay, we're going to do some legwork for them. So your idea about all the feeds that you just shared, which is lovely and brilliant, I love it. until you invent that and cash out, okay? Everyone listening, no. Change the title of your marketing person to Director of Community Love or whatever the hell it is, and just tell them to study all day long and empower them. Look at your existing clients all day long, and when you see something fantastic, act on it. You know, this whole social media feeds, it just, what the idea I had a moment ago is, it's kind of a peek into my soul.
Wow.
I'm letting, if you want to know what kind of mood I'm in, you could look and you'd know, ooh, he's snarky today. Yeah. Now look at what time it's posted. Oh, it's 10:30 at night. And he's still in an airport. He's, what I'm doing, all your clients' news is right there. And if you showed them, I'm paying attention. Hey, I saw this the other day. Here's something that you might really like. I saw you posted this. I got one from my advisor one time, blew me away. He said, I've been keeping an eye on you on LinkedIn. And then he told me, he said something like, I was on a tear. Actually, I said, one of the things I shared earlier, I'm just trying to working a little less and having a little bit more fun. Well, he had something to do with that transformation. He said, I count 14 cities in 40 some days.
Nice.
And then, because I hub, I rarely get to fly direct. Sometimes I can fly New York, Chicago, Toronto, but for the most part, I go Toronto, the world. You know what I mean? So he goes, wow, that many events at 4 flights per equals this. And then he just said, I will remind you that in the summer, you couldn't wait for ski season. Okay, make sure you're looking after you. And just that little, that doesn't seem like much, does it? And yet it's huge. Can you imagine if you just had somebody who works for you doing that?
Yeah.
In my talks, Joe, I call it, this is a reference to the television show MASH, which was on TV forever and it was a great show.
Yeah, big fan.
You're a big fan? Okay, so I call this the Radar O'Reilly moment. Remember Henry Blake would be signing papers? Yep. And he'd say, what am I signing, Radar? Once a week, have that person come into your office like Radar O'Reilly with a great big stack. Those are books. What books? Books that you think every client needs to read. They are cards. What kind of cards? Congratulation cards, check-in cards. There's a book you can buy called Going Home. What book's that? That's the book you buy your clients when their dog dies. Every week, this person comes into your office. What's this? Oh, this is something on these crazy little secret ski hills in Quebec. Oh, are we sending that to Dennis? Yes. The other day, he asked on social media, does anybody know a place in the East that isn't here that could blah, blah, blah? Anybody else know a great place that's got this? I've skied this one a million times. You know another one? That's an opportunity.
Yeah.
So you jumped on that? Oh, yeah. And I found a place called this, and here's where it is. And then using ChatGPT, in 37 seconds, I printed out how to get there, where the restaurants are, where he could stay. And then I said, run such and such, and this is it. And this is the place that has the best cheeseburger. And this is it. Boom, boom. Here's the package. And we're spending an extra $6 to get it delivered to his house by tomorrow morning. Sign it. Thanks. Oh, how many copies do I see in your... I see 3 copies of Going Home. Yep. His name was Sparky. It's Joe's dog. Oh, so sorry to read. Send it. You know who sent me that book? My partner, Tom, when my dog died. It was lovely. Nobody else. And you think, who is this guy? People's dog dies. People's dog. A person's dog died. They post it on every channel they have. It's a member of the family. Acknowledge it. That's growth.
Yeah, no, those are good. So just having a whole list of personal gifts that are meaningful to clients at different moments in their lives, at different points in their transformation.
Everything goes back to your secret. I said earlier, imagine that you love me. What are the books I need to see or read? What are the talks I need to watch? Who are the people I need to hear? What's the food I need to taste? Where are the places I need to experience? What are your touchstones? You love me. You'd share it. So share it. And that's you. That's the, hey, and what am I helping you do? I'm helping you see things differently. I'm helping
So
you in your own way. This will release you to become who you really are.
yeah,
And that's the story people tell. Imagine all the clients you get, you know, if someone said, no, man, Joe, I'm telling you, like all the stuff that we talk about, it's this Dennis guy. I know I'm talking to my advisor again, but I'm telling you, this guy's in my head. No, he had a really cool event. It was this. I learned this. I met this person. He's connecting. Charismatic leader, big idea, a list of things you're for. What is the serious shift?
right.
Next, what are you against? Who are you for? What are your rituals? And what's your elaborate onboarding process? When somebody becomes your client, who's excited? You or them? Who thinks they've accomplished something? Hey, way to go. We brought in another $1 million account. Woo! Or is it them? Do they sit in their car when it's all over and, the first time they meet you and they know, oh my God, this is the greatest thing that ever happened? Do they sit in their car and go, Jesus, what was that? How on earth did we get so lucky to meet him? This is the best thing that's ever happened to us. Stage an experience, make that happen, inform the whole thing with one big idea, and lead them to a transformation. It's about identity. Who are you helping them become? When I started, the question was, how much can I make you? Then that value shifted to services. This is what I know. What questions do you have? What do you need? Like it went from I can pile up assets to I'm a small business specialist. I work with business owners. Okay, great. And then the question changed again. And where we're at now is, who am I helping you become? Transformation.
Yeah. No, that's good. I've been biting my tongue, and I think actually I'm not gonna finish with this. I'm gonna just save it and use it on my own.
Okay.
There's a lot of gold in all this. The image that comes to mind is, the little picture of the guy that's like hacking away through the dirt trying to get to a diamond, but you can see he's like, 4 feet away from the diamond. And
Yeah.
then below it, there's this guy hacking away, and he's like just on the diamond, like
Yeah.
just a little bit more hacking of dirt, and he would be on his diamond, and
Yeah.
he's got his axe on his shoulder, or his pickaxe, and he's walking the other direction. I think your own tenants, your personal legend is dig like mad toward your diamonds. And then when you find your diamonds, when you start hitting them, pick some of them up and go back and share them with other people. And that is your secret. Those diamonds that you've uncovered that you're taking back to share with your
That's
community.
right. If you think about, I hosted this retreat at the lake, okay? And I call it the Guru on the Mountain. So everybody just think about what a guru is. Like what we know from pop culture. And we picture them. I thought you were about to say it. I thought you were literally about to say, I picture this little person. And I was like, oh my God, you're going to say it. Up on a mountaintop. Like, what's a guru? An advisor is an expert. An advocate or a guru is a person who publicly supports or champions a cause or a policy. The guru sits way up on the mountain. They're hard to get to. The journey is worth as much or more to you than whatever the hell they tell you on the top of the mountain. The top of the mountain is when they tell you about financial planning, let's say. But it's not, they tell you a secret when you get there. And they're also not for everybody. One person's guru, I love this Dennis guy, is another person's crackpot. This guy's nuts. I can't stand his voice or his crazy brain. That's the way it goes. In your enlightened, self-interested advisors who are still listening, you want to be up on top of that mountain. It's a big idea. That's what they're seeking. They want to belong to a brand that improves their life. They want to become something more. Okay? There's this hunger they have. And you want to make sure you lay out a journey to get to you that helps people self-select out. Okay? So that those who arrive want the idea. And they look forward to meetings with you. And they bring other people to the party. That's what we're looking for. Bring other people to the party.
Yeah. There we go. Host a really fun, fantastic party for people that like the things you do, and then invite all your buddies, and then invite your buddies to invite their buddies. It's just one big party.
Imagine hosting in a really great location a 2-day retreat that you organize. Oh, I'd never be able to pay for that. No, they pay to go. That's why would you think otherwise? Of course they're going to pay to go. Is that part of their fee? No. No. This is just something. But they can also bring a friend to it. Oh, does that person get to go for free? No, they pay too. And that's how you grow your business? Yeah, I'd host my own version of a TED Talk. It would be the most amazing retreat going. And at the end, it's like, can you manage my money? Because I want to be plugged into your head. Yeah, of course. That's not, anybody can manage your money. That's not what, if you just want your money managed, and you should go sign up for this. Because they'll get you a great return. You'll get a few meetings online a year, talk to a nice guy named Joe. You'll do this, and they only charge you this. I'm going to charge you this much money. This is what I charge. It's a premium. Here's why. Because I do things that other advisors don't do. I don't even like to call myself an advisor. But if you just want that, go. You'll get it. You'll get to X. If and they'll charge you next to that. But if you come here, this is what you're going to get. One great big event that you host like once a year and people talk about all year and look forward to going the next year. Amazing. Hats off to the people who founded Future Proof. That is a transformational experience. Is there any other conference that looks like that? All other conferences are services. We organize the speakers, we bring them in, we have snacks outside, we paste the agenda properly so you can pee. We blah, 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 and we plan some, I shouldn't say that, but, and then we plan something for your +1 to do. Okay, what does Future Proof do? They stage an experience, they connect people, you get to participate. They educate you, they entertain you. There's certainly an escapism involved. There's an aesthetic involved. They're hitting it out of the park. It's about transformation and, of course, Future Proof, the future of the business. The future of the business is transformation. The future of all business is membership.
Yeah.
And there'll be tiered pricing, right? I mean, there'll be people that pay for VIP stuff. There'll be bottom line. It's like everything else.
For sure. This is a future-proof pitch. This is a school community pitch. This
is a Brian Portnoy pitch. I've done it all.
Brian Portnoy pitch. All right, let's pitch some Dennis. What if someone wants to read your work or connect with you on LinkedIn? Go to one of your mountaintop retreats. What's the best way for someone to get in touch with you?
Come and find me on LinkedIn. I'm there all the time.
Cool. Me too.
Yeah.
Probably too
even
much.
That, eh? See, even that right there. This is what I think. It's like I'm ending with this story, and then I'm not saying another word.
Okay. I'll just hit end on the record.
I'm happy to say that the person who wrote this article has become a friend of mine. We were pen pals, and I've since been invited to his home twice. His name is Scott Rabb, and he wrote for Esquire magazine for 20 years. He still does write for them, actually. He wrote a piece for them last year. 2 of them. He wrote an article on Bill Murray. And it was a really funny article where Scott, I think, is driving the car. David Granger, who was the editor of Esquire magazine, is in the backseat with Bill. And they're saying to him, yeah, you're really hard to get a hold of. They're talking about he's famous. He doesn't have a publicist agent. He's famously difficult to get in touch with. And yet he randomly shows up at people's parties if they write him letters, right? Like he's known for this weird stuff. And the way they write the article is very funny. The way he writes the article, Scott Rabb, that is, he describes, Bill Murray looking all over, ADD all over the place. And he just keeps saying, well, they, I'm hard to find, whatever. And they go, yeah, but Sofia Coppola, she put you in Lost in Translation and it changed your life. You went from being goofy Bill Murray to a thespian. And she almost gave up because you're such a pain in the ass to find. And he just keeps saying the same answer. Yeah, but she found me. Okay, and he's like, yeah, but she almost gave up. If she didn't, she would have done blah, 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 and you'd be waiting to do, Caddyshack 9, whatever the hell it is. So Bill Murray finally goes and turns to Scott Rabb, who's driving the car, and says, Scotty, if you didn't have my number and you wanted to reach me, what would you do? And he says, I'd call Dan Aykroyd. And Bill Murray goes, there you go. Danny's got my number. Okay. That made so much sense to me that I never handed out another business card in my life. And whenever anybody from that moment on said, how do they reach out? And I know this drives everybody friggin' crazy. I used to go find me on LinkedIn, because here's why. It's not vanity metrics. Oh, go to this, do this. If you really want to find me, you'll find me. You're Sofia Coppola. If you really want me in your movie, you're going to go find me. And if you don't, I'm cool with that. And that's it. So it's like, just go find me on LinkedIn. I post there all the time. I got a website. My name's Dennis Mosley Williams. There's Google. You'll find me really easy. Yeah. And people that find me because they want to are really happy they found me. It usually changes their life.
That's great. No, I like that a lot. All right, we'll go find Dennis on LinkedIn. Click the double bell next to his name. The double bell means you get notified every time he posts, and then you can troll him. This is what makes LinkedIn so fun. Being a positive troll on people that you want to follow.
There you go.
All right. Awesome, Dennis. Thank you so much for coming on today. I'm really excited there's so many gold nuggets in here. I've got to dig them all out and I've got to elaborate on them. But I'm excited to get this out in the world.
If you're cool with it, I'll send you something I wrote on it.
Okay.
Or maybe I'll post it on LinkedIn, and whatever you do, however I do that with your name, I'll say, here, this is what we were talking about.
Perfect. Awesome.
Thanks for the visit. And this is really nice for trusting me and for everybody for listening.
Yeah, for sure.
Thanks, everybody.
Have a great
one. Okay, bro. Take care, man. Bye-bye.